Hello everybody, this is City Scrapper. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. Today I am excited to be participating in the Rebecca Lockhart 1000 subscriber celebration hop and giveaway. For this hop, we are scrap lifting one of Rebecca Lockhart's beautiful layouts. There were so many layouts that I wanted to scrap lift, and I finally decided on this particular layout. And I think what made me finally choose this layout was the intensity and movement of the colors and also the butterflies. I really love butterflies. So I am using a piece of 120-pound smooth white cardstock that I've already coated with some white gesso, and I'm adding some sprays. The yellow spray is a Prima Color Bloom spray, and the color is called Spring Dandelion. For the orange, I'm using some Dylusions ink spray in squeezed orange, and I'm trying to match the intensity of the color that's in Rebecca's layout. So I want to use bright colors. I'm putting some splatters down, and I noticed that in Rebecca's layout, it appears to me, and I'm not 100% sure, but it appears to me that she sprayed the color onto the background directly from the spray bottle. And I was trying to do the same thing. I really love that effect, but when I sprayed it on my background, it just didn't look the way it looked on Rebecca's. And I'm guessing, again, not sure, but I'm thinking maybe she doesn't have gesso on her layout, so the appearance of the spray being sprayed directly on is different because there's less absorbency when you add gesso to the background. So I couldn't match that effect exactly, but I ended up just being happy with the packaging technique. And here I'm adding another Dylusion spray. This is a shimmer spray, and it's in polished jade. And I specifically picked the Prima Color Bloom sprays and the Dylusion sprays because I know that the color comes out very, very rich and deep. So I was happy with this color combination. And I just kind of pulled some of the colors off of one of the pattern papers that was in the Vicki Boutin Color Study collection. I just got some of those papers and I was really anxious to use them, especially since they had black and white butterflies, which I thought would match what Rebecca had on her layout pretty well. Here I just added another layer of the blue color, and then I watered it down a little bit just to make it easier to splatter around the page. And now I have splatters in all three colors. Then I was thinking that it would be nice to add some texture to the background using some modeling paste. So I mixed about 2/3 modeling paste with about 1/3 white acrylic paint. And the white acrylic paint, I always talk about this, it really helps to make the modeling paste nice and white. I'm sure there are some modeling pastes that are white, but the one that I have has kind of a gray tone. And so I always try to add some white acrylic paint in there. And I'm using a stencil that I really like. It's an older stencil. It is from Prima and it's called Ornate Lace. I don't know that you can tell that it's lace once I add the modeling paste, but I really like the little tiny bumps and the intricate nature of this particular stencil. So this step I probably could have done before I added the modeling paste, but now I'm adding some stamps. I'm using the StazOn ink in jet black, and I'm using a stamp that I've had in my stash. It's a Studio Calico stamp, and that's the dot. And then the one that I'm using now, it's a script stamp, and this is just kind of a remnant of a stamp that I picked up at a garage sale or flea market, something like that. I use it a lot. And then I went back in with a few more dots. And now I'm ready to start thinking about my photo. I have my photo mounted on a piece of white cardstock, and behind it I'm placing a little bit larger than 4x6 inch piece of pattern paper from the Vicki Boutin Color Study collection. And I love that black paper with the turquoise writing on it. You could see that I distressed the edges a little bit on that. And then I took two other cards that were similar in size, and I'm distressing the edges with my scissors. And I'm just going to kind of place those two pieces of pattern paper behind the photo with not too much showing, just a little bit of color showing at the top and the bottom. And those pattern papers are just the flip side of the other pattern paper that I used. So as you can see, I used some StazOn ink and I just inked the edges a little bit. Then I used some scraps of fun foam and I pop up that whole cluster. And after I put the fun foam down, I started to use the ATG adhesive to stick it down. And then I was thinking I really should add some white splatters before I put my photo down. So I took some watered down white acrylic paint and I'm splattering that all around the page. And I just love the way the white splatters bring the background into the areas of color and just kind of brings everything together. And now I'm adding some black splatters as well. Not quite as many, but I also love the effect of the black splatters on the background. That will help to bring the photo and all of the embellishments together with the mixed media background. And then I'm just ruffling up some of those distressed pieces of paper a little bit. And now I'm adding some butterflies. So when I first was planning on making this layout, I just was not in a get a scrapbook page done kind of mood. I just decided I wanted to fussy cut out all the butterflies. So I fussy cut out a whole bunch of these butterflies, which are from the same Vicki Boutin collection. And I kind of folded them in half a little bit. And then I put a small piece of foam on each of the wings. So there's 2 little pieces of foam on each butterfly. And you can see that I cut out some of the large butterflies, the medium, and the small ones as well. And I'm just arranging those around the page. And now I'm just adding a little bit of ATG adhesive to the foam on each of those butterflies. And I like the way the ATG adhesive on the foam allows me to move the butterflies around a little bit once I have them on the page, because I am definitely trying not to go too crazy with rethinking things on this page, but I still want that option of being able to move things around a little bit. And for this layout, I'm on a Zoom call, so you might see me talking with my hands a little bit, making some rather odd hand gestures, but that's what that's all about. I love the way this color study collection combines really, really bright colors with some black and white elements. I think that if these butterflies had been colorful, the background would have been too confusing for the eye. So after settling finally on this arrangement for the butterflies, I decided to add some flowers just as Rebecca had in her layout. I am adding some yellow flowers, some orange flowers, and some blue flowers. The same colors as are in the background, and I'm also adding some of these white flowers as well. The yellow flowers are Petaloo flowers, and those blue flowers and those orange flowers are Little Birdie flowers. I also wanted to bring in a little bit more of the pattern paper, so there were a couple of scraps left, and I decided to do the same thing to these little scraps that I did to the rest of the papers around the photo. I distressed the edges and I inked them a little bit. And now I'm just tucking them behind those pattern papers that are already there. And you can see that I bent the edges with my fingers just to make them look a little bit more distressed. And I didn't really worry about what colors were on the strips. I decided that all the colors kind of look nice together. And so I just tucked those little strips on top of the photo and below the photo. The white flowers are made of a different material. Maybe it's some ribbon. I got those on eBay from someone who was selling a whole bunch of little bows and other items that were used to make little hair clips and hair bows and things like that. And I just liked the way they were a little different from the other flowers. So I tuck in a bunch of those. And then I'm also adding some of these leaves that were in my stash. I had a couple of different types. There was one there that I just took off. It had a yellow end to it, and I decided I didn't want to use those. I just wanted to add ones that were a little bit more solid green. So I just placed a couple of those around underneath some of the flowers. And now I'm using these die cut leaves in white, and they just add something a little bit extra. They are white, so they're not going to really show up a lot, but I like the way they added a little bit more texture and a slight bit of dimension. And so I just cut apart these stems and I'm just tucking some leaves and clusters of leaves around the layout. And I forgot to mention I added some very tiny blue flowers, and those are little birdie flowers as well. I like the way they're much smaller than the other flowers, and it creates a little bit of variety, and there's also a little pearl in the center, so I liked that too. So this is a stage where I'm just arranging things, looking for any spots that look bare or any shape that I don't like in the embellishments. So if I don't like the shape that they form, or I feel like there's any spot where there's just looks like there's a gap, I fill it in with something. And here I'm using some of the heavy duty gel medium to attach down all of those elements. I'm even attaching down the butterflies, the leaves, the flowers, everything that's there is going to be held down really well by this particular medium. So I don't include all the footage of me attaching everything down with the gel medium, but I do go around the entire layout and everything gets attached down. I added a sticker right to the photo that says Good Times. It's a Momenta sticker. I spent a pretty good amount of time searching through all of my title stickers to find something that I thought would go well with this particular layout. So I thought that matched really well in color, and I liked the placement right on the photo. Now I was thinking that I could add a little bit more dimension, sparkle and shine by putting some black jewels on the center of the butterflies. Again, I'm not adding another color, so it isn't going to overwhelm the layout, but I'm taking some of these black jewels. I'm putting a large jewel at the top and smaller jewels going down the rest of the center of the butterfly. So for the really large butterflies, I use the largest jewel at the top and then the medium jewels going down the center. For the medium and small butterflies, I used a medium jewel at the top and I put those really tiny jewels going down the center. So I use all three sizes of the jewels, and I was feeling that the layout was almost done, but I decided to add a few sequins. I looked carefully at Rebecca's layout, and there was definitely some bling in the background, and I was pretty sure that they were sequins. So I pulled out a few white sequins and a few yellow sequins, and then I'm just using some gel glue to glue those down. And I was trying very hard on this layout not to overthink things, and I think I kind of succeeded. I can't say that I will always do that, but I just put down some sequins and I glued them down the first place that I placed them, and that completes the layout. And here are some close-ups. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope if you like this video, you'll give it a thumbs up. And please check out all the other ladies who are following along with Rebecca Lockhart's 1,000 subscriber celebration hop and giveaway. Links to their channels will be in the description box. Congratulations to Rebecca on this milestone. I hope that everybody will check out her channel, and I hope everybody has a fantastic day, and I will see you again soon. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.